Hello, YouTube. By the end of the Russian Civil War, which lasted from 1917 to 1922, the Red Army was armed with the Belgian revolver Nagant, an effective but outdated weapon of the 19th century. As a result, it was decided that it was time to create a handgun, a pistol that Soviet Russia could call its own. However, at that time, engineers in the USSR had no experience in creating short-barreled guns, so it took years to develop a handgun worthy of the Soviet Army, Red Army at the time. In 1927, the Soviet Union released its very first handgun with 6.35 mm cartridges. It was called Korovin and was distributed among Red Army commanders. But as they say in Russian, the first pancake you make always comes out as a lump. And the weapon soon demonstrated a number of flaws that would eventually prove its collapse. It was a small pistol with a short pistol grip. It was more suitable for a woman's handbag than a Red commander's holster. Moreover, it soon became clear that the handguns were not powerful enough in combat. So Soviet soldiers needed more firepower. The Soviet engineers decided to develop a handgun using the 7.63 mm German Mauser drawings. Therefore, in the early 1930s, the Soviet Union was armed with the famous TT-30 handgun. Its design was based on a simplified version of the Browning pistol. TT-30 received powerful 7.62 with 25 rounds that flew out at the speed of 420 meters per second. They could break through trees and kill someone hiding behind them. These were powerful ammunition for their time, with higher accuracy compared to others. The caliber of the Nagant pistol and the TT-30 are similar, but the firepower of the latter is twice as high due to the amount of gunpowder. The TT-30 was a reliable weapon that the soldiers of the Soviet Union loved. By the way, Russian gangsters in the 1990s were also armed with these weapons, as TT-30 pistols flooded the country's black market. However, the gun did not have a safe mode, which made it a bit dangerous. In addition, it was cheaper to develop a completely new gun, as opposed to adding a safety feature. And that's how the Makarov handgun appeared. After World War II, the army needed a new handgun suitable for both the police and the army. In the 1950s, engineers created this new 9 mm cartridge and a new gun that would immortalize its creator in the history of the Russian weaponry, the Makarov pistol. It was a semi-automatic pistol that had smaller than the TT-30. It was smaller than the TT-30 and weighed about 810 grams. Soviet law enforcement and army officers were armed with the Makarov pistol. Back in the 1970s, aviators were given these guns during flights after terrorists hijacked a civilian airliner flying from Sukhumi to Krasnodar. The first man in outer space, cosmonaut Yuri Gagarin, had this handgun on board on April 12, 1962. Of course, he did not have to use it against aliens, but the gun was needed to protect himself from wild animals if something went wrong and he accidentally landed somewhere in the middle of the tundra on his way back from his mission in outer space. The weapon had its own ergonomic disadvantages, which made it unsuitable for special task forces. The pistol grip was not particularly comfortable, and it was difficult to quickly upgrade the magazine. My grandfather served in the Red Cavalry, in the Kotovsky troops. Later, he fought against the Japanese Empire in Halkin Gol, and he fought against Nazi invaders during World War II. In the frontline reconnaissance, all the way to Prague, on a number of fronts. I think he liked the original Mauser during his Civil War battles. For the World War II missions behind enemy lines, he had a special Fourier knife to hunt his prey and deliver across the front lines. I do not know what gun he used. I'll continue to tell you more about the history of Russian weapons from the days of the Russian Empire through the modern days of the new Russia, and of course the Soviet period as well. Thank you for your attention to my work. If you can support my research, please do so. You'll find the links on how to do it in the description to this video. Please tell others. Subscribe to my channel. Thank you.